This is the moment you've been waiting for. I'm gonna restart my game and I'm gonna have aimbot. You will see. Trust me, you will see.
So this is probably the weirdest hacking video that I'm gonna make. This is FaZe Jarvis. He is a member of FaZe Clan, currently, and still is a member of FaZe Clan, but he's not so much more of a gaming content creator. He created Fortnite content back in the day, his claim to fame. And I didn't really watch him play Fortnite a whole lot. But at the beginning of the video, you noticed how he said that he's gonna have an aimbot. And if you're listening to this part here,
this random, like, it was, I don't know how old he was, he sounded kind of old, and he was telling me like he can get aimbot and everything, and I was like, nah, there's no way you can get aimbot. Obviously I don't want to have aimbot on my main account, but I'm pretty certain I have got aimbot on this account.
So what he basically said at the beginning of the video was that he has an aimbot on his account, he's going to relaunch the game, and he's actually going to cheat. This is a big deal because FaZe Jarvis was, I think he's got like 3 million subscribers over on YouTube. This is one of the big content creators outside of Mr. Golds that I talked about before. This is a very old video, but I wanted to discuss it because this is an unusual case about him cheating and getting banned or suspended from Fortnite for life. This is the video that basically caused it. So at the beginning, he said that he was going to use an aimbot. And then his reasoning behind this was that he found some kid in the game who gave him the aimbot, or said that he can get him an aimbot on his account. So he ended up getting one. And he goes through and he plays. The video is about 15 minutes long, and it's him playing Fortnite, and he's talking about how he doesn't want to use the aimbot right away because he'll get his account suspended very quickly. He's on a new account, but he is very clearly aimbotting throughout this gameplay. And it's kind of obnoxious in a sense because you're a big content creator, and it caused a lot of controversy into content creation for creators. And you notice how cheating content is very popular in a sense as far as covering it, talking about it, accusing professional players to get viewership and make content. But all the pro players talked about it when this came out. Everyone talked about it when it came out. I even talked about this when this came out. But this was really one of the biggest content creators at the time, 3 million followers. Someone who's making hundreds, if not millions of dollars at the time. I would argue probably closer to a couple million maybe back then. So he was very successful on his own. He had a massive channel. He was doing very well. And he decided to install an aimbot, and he went into public matches to play on Fortnite. And start cheating against other players in a regular match like normal. Later on in this video, he does start talking about it, and his friends are freaking out like as they're filming, and you can kind of tell that he's just hitting all his shots after a while. But what ended up happening very quickly after this video went live was that Fortnite, Epic Games, the company who runs Fortnite, they made a statement and said FaZe Jarvis has been banned permanently from Fortnite for cheating or using hacks. Now, he wasn't on his main account. You know, he tried to circumvent, well, if I get this account banned, it won't be a big deal. But it's very weird that a content creator would make videos and showing cheating, or technically, I guess in this case, promoting cheating. There is an infamous video of him crying afterwards. And I mean, honestly, I don't blame him. You go from making hundreds of thousands of dollars a month to not being able to play the game or support your channel. He's recovered since then. He's been able to switch his content and make other content around other things. So he's still successful. And, you know, I don't necessarily mind in a way, like, you know, it sucks in a sense that, you know, you do something and then you throw away what you potentially had by, you know, making a short mistake. But Dr. Lupo, another content creator on Twitch, he made a very good comment. Ninja was talking about this clip, and Ninja was like, oh, I don't know. He's a young kid. He, you know, he makes mistakes, you know, in error. You know, he should maybe, you know, just kind of have like a 6-month suspension, maybe not a 1-year-long suspension. And then Lupo goes, hey, well, if he wasn't a content creator and it was just a random person who gets banned, or you're in a game and you get killed by a hacker, you would want that cheater banned permanently, right? And he goes, yeah, I think you would. And he's like, well, the only reason you would think that you shouldn't ban this guy for life is favoritism. You know, you have a content creator who has a big audience, a big channel, and you go, oh, it's just a mistake, so maybe you want to have favoritism. And he goes, favoritism's bad. So Lupo had a very good point against Ninja's whole thing on like, maybe just let it go. But I agree. He knowingly installed cheats. He knowingly did something wrong. And then he didn't really have the forethought to think like, hey, maybe I shouldn't break TOS. When this first happened, I was just like, I'm surprised FaZe allowed it, let alone do it. And it just didn't make any sense. You know, you're playing a game, you're playing competitively in a sense, and then you're going to use cheats, and then you're going to show it and brag about it in a video. But his idea was to make a controversial video, and he also made some problems as well. I remember he made a statement saying, oh, I just did it in a private match. And then it's like, dude, your entire video was in a public lobby. It wasn't in a private match. So he used his cheats not in a private match to make a video to show how aimbots work. That was his first excuse. He got caught with it in that sense. Like, he obviously caught himself by making the video. So it wasn't like a, ooh, surprise, surprise, or anything like that. It's just kind of like an error in judgment, I guess you could say, but he still did something wrong. But when people reach out and they say like, oh, all these big content creators are cheating, Jarvis is like one of the big ones that I would say doesn't necessarily qualify for that. He's not a streamer in a sense that, you know, he's playing competitively. He installed cheats to cheat at a tournament. Did he cheat? Is he a big content creator? Yeah, he did it one time in this video. But realistically, like, that whole definition of all streamers are cheaters, all people are hacking, they're all doing all the shit. I really hate when that gets thrown around, and a lot of people use Jarvis as an example for it. I'm sure he's, you know, kind of a trash can for cheating and doing something that he shouldn't have been doing. But at the end of the day, it's like people try to push that narrative forward that streamers are trying to be deceptive lately, at least with Warzone and other games. And I still stick by it. I still think that the vast majority of top content creators are successful because of a lot of hard work. You know, most of the people who get into games and actually stream and build their channel are legitimate. But this whole narrative that streamers are the enemy, they're, you know, public enemy number one, is kind of getting a little ridiculous. And you have to try to defend. But this is him showing his account. He's on a new account, and he's just talking about how he's going to go in using the aimbot. And then I think his friends behind him, you can see like he's snapping onto people in the pregame lobby. But I don't know. There's just this shift toward content creators, and people want to argue about it all the time, whether content creators are cheating. And I understand there is definitely money to be made if you are cheating and you get away with it, for sure. But the reality is, when you have a top content channel, someone who's pulling 5,000 to 10,000 views, you know, they've been building their platform for 5+ years on average, you know, maybe even 3 to 5, and they becoming successful. They have a lot of eyes on them. They're getting watched. Activision, other companies are scanning accounts constantly, looking for anything that can potentially give them a flag to ban that account. They definitely take it seriously. I mean, if you look at Epic Games' response to them uploading cheats directly and doing this video, it was a lifetime suspension. It was a permanent ban. There's just so much to lose as a content creator that if you are a massively successful one and you've been working at it legitimately hard, like, why would you? I mean, you didn't cheat to get there. But there's a lot of people that are new to the scene with gaming becoming more explosive, and they try to have shortcuts. And the ones that I catch, or the ones that I show you videos of, are usually small content creators, people who make maybe a couple $100, maybe $1,000 a month streaming. And then they join tournaments. They use like a wall hack or an aimbot potentially in a tournament to win, you know, $2,500 a month or something, or, you know, $3K a month in an event. And those guys usually get caught very quickly. They make a mistake. They show their cheats on screen. But when it comes to big content creators, I can only name like 2 off the top of my head. Obviously Jarvis in this sense, but he doesn't necessarily count because he did it himself. He's just showing it in the video, and he didn't cheat outside of this. It was just something for him to make a viral video, and it did go viral. It did get him what he wanted. I just don't think he expected the ban, lifetime ban. But I don't really have an issue with him being lifetime banned for cheating. I think that's somewhat one of those things. You know, the old phrase, play stupid games, win stupid prizes, you know, kind of a thing. And you should know better. I mean, he might be younger. I think he was like 17 or 19 at the time. You would obviously know, hey, cheating's bad. Cheating's against TOS. You probably can't upload a video with it because you'll get in trouble, right? Go figure. Their actions have consequences. But it's just this weird mindset that I think people have with streamers, that a lot of them want to have advantages. I can see it in the competitive scene in a way, people potentially running a Kross or doing other stuff like that. But a lot of content creators will go out of their way to show you that they're not doing something beyond validation. Like, they will have monitor cameras, they will have keyboard cameras, they will have mouse cams, controller cams. They'll show you their setup on request. They'll show you their screen. They do everything and above and beyond, yet people still have doubts. But I think a lot of that comes from ignorance, people not understanding how players play games, people not understanding how pro players are exceptionally good at a game, and they are not going to be anywhere near as skillful as like a casual player. You know, like casual players aren't even going to come close. But you can see his friend hopped on here as well, and then he started aimbotting, and he's just basically popping shots, locking onto everybody, and they're freaking out about it, and they're celebrating. And it's kind of weird. It's like, dude, you're cheating, you're ruining someone's game, but they're still having fun with it. I don't know. It makes sense that they permanently banned him, but that's a pretty big punishment. You know, you ban a big creator, but it's also an example. And I think I stand by that still, that if you get caught cheating, you have a lot to lose. You can argue this guy's making millions, and then Epic Games is like, we don't give a fuck, and they banned him. Call of Duty, same situation. If you get caught cheating in Call of Duty, they'll pretty much ban you permanently, as far as I know. Twitch will ban your account. You lose all your income from Twitch. Your sponsorships, brand deals, esports organizations that you're a part of, if they're a decent organization, they'll kick you out. So I just say, like, there's so much risk there for big content creators, the guys that are actually like entertainers that are already successful. And it's very unlikely that they're going to be risking their six plus figure income that they worked, you know, 5+ years, 6-7 years to earn, let alone some of these guys are earning more. Some make 7 figures a year. You know, it's like, why would they ever do that? It just doesn't make sense. But this one was one of these that was kind of a controversial ban, just based on, you know, a big streamer, either he made a mistake or didn't make a mistake. You know, was it an error? Should it be forgiven? And my opinion, I think that if you are doing something like that, you should know that there are going to be consequences. Lifetime ban sounds harsh, but I think at the end of the day, if you are going to do something where you know it's wrong, you don't even have to think about it. It's just very simple. Like, hey, this guy's cheating. He knows that cheating's TOS. He knows it's wrong, yet he does it anyway and chooses to do it anyway. And I think that's a very clear issue. You know, it's like you should know right from wrong at that point in time. But it is what it is.